Okay. Welcome, everybody. My name is Caitlin Lambert. I'm the Assistant Director of Financial Aid. And then our event for today is the pathway to payment. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about financial aid and then the other different ways to pay for school. But this is an interactive presentation. So there is a QR code up here on the screen. Go ahead and pull your phones out and you can open up that QR code and it will take you into the presentation where I have polls and stuff for us to engage with. And if you have trouble, let me know. Is everybody in?
Wait.
Not yet? Okay, no worries. Take your time. Yours is thinking too. Okay.
I think it might be.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So because I like all the technology things, this is just a cool poll that we can try out. I just want to see how you guys are feeling about being in your college first year, where you are in the process. How are you feeling with all of that right now in this moment? Good. Okay. In your screen, it should be interactive, so you can hit it and it should adjust as the polls are coming in. Hopefully. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, so as we dive in, we are just going to talk about the different pathways. The first one is financial aid. So when I say financial aid, it's an umbrella term. It encompasses a lot of different things. So when I talk about financial aid, it could be scholarships, it could be federal grants, state grants, federal loans, work study. All of that is financial aid. So we're going to talk about each a little bit more. And then at the end, we'll talk about the different self-pay options that are available at the college so that you can know all of your options. Okay, so my first question, as the scholarship administrator for the college, have you all applied for our scholarships here at the college? It's normally about a 10-minute application, but it auto applies you to any of the 180 that we have. Okay, cool. Again, because you guys have the QR code, you can actually click the links in this presentation if you want to get to the scholarships later on. This first one takes you to the Laurel Ridge scholarships. So those are the ones that our college has funds from donors and we match them with students. So we do this multiple times during the year. So even if you're not selected in the first round, you could be selected later. You just want to make sure that you're checking your student email and whatever phone number you have on your account is accurate. We send text messages too now. The other one is the community scholarships. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on those, but it is a great resource to tap into. We get a lot of notifications from outside companies or partners that want to post scholarships for our students. The downside is you have to apply for them individually. There's not one system for all of them. But if you save this one as a favorite, you can go back and check it every week or every month, whatever works for your life, and you can apply for them. We have a member of our team who faithfully goes in and updates any new ones, takes out old ones. That way it's the most up-to-date information. But if you're selected for one of these, they would send the money to the college for you and it gets posted to your account as a local private scholarship. And it's just another way to help pay for school. We've had a couple of students who looked at it like it was a job and applied for scholarships every single week. And she ended up receiving like 7 or 8 scholarships in local private money and was able to pay for all of it that way and then save her federal money for when she went on to a 4-year school. So it's a great opportunity if you spend some time working on it. Okay. The next thing is the FAFSA. So the FAFSA seems to strike terror in the souls of most people, but I promise you it is not as bad as it was. It takes only about 30 minutes, and now we've got a lot of really cool technology in there, so it skips you through questions that don't apply to you. It also will bring in your tax information. There was a time where you had to go line by line in your return or your parents' return and try and plug stuff in. It does all of that on the back end now, so you don't don't actually have to touch the numbers in any way. So instead of it taking about an hour, in most cases, it takes about 30 minutes if you're doing it on your own. If you work with financial aid staff, it can take, I've gotten it done in about 5 minutes with someone. So it just depends on if you feel comfortable doing it on your own. But know that we are happy to help you with it. But this one application shows us your eligibility for all of these different types of aid. So it's really worth the time that it takes to complete it. You do have to complete it every year though. So the one that we're in right now is for 25-26. It is for the fall that starts in a couple of weeks, the spring, and then the summer. The new one will open October the 1st. By law, they have no choice. It has to open. So it will be for the next fall, spring, and summer. And then you just update the tax information link up and it brings all of that over to us. But the FAFSA shows us your eligibility for the federal grants, which is the Pell Grant that everybody knows about. There's also an FSEOG, which we typically use for our out-of-state students. There's also federal loans. So the big thing with loans is you have to repay them when you're all done. It can't be transferred to someone else. We've got a couple of different kinds. There's the subsidized loan, which means that because you have a need requirement, the interest on the loan doesn't accrue until after you stop attending, drop below 6 credits, or graduate. There's also the unsub, which the interest begins to accrue as soon as the loan is dispersed. So again, they're great ways to pay for school if you need it, but you do have to repay them when you're all done. We also have Parent Plus loans. That's one where your parent would take out the loan on your behalf. The parent is responsible for the loan. It can't be transferred to you. But in some cases, there is a credit check or a cosigner required. So that's just something to be mindful of as you're looking at your options. And then when you do the FAFSA, it shows us your eligibility for state grants. So by being a Virginia resident, getting in-state tuition, you could qualify for state aid. So we do all of that on the back end. There's nothing you have to do other than the FAFSA. And then we base that off an award schedule that's approved by the state. The last thing is work study. How many of you guys are going to be working while you're taking classes? Nobody? One? Okay, that's cool. Well, if you're thinking about it and you're eligible for financial aid, work study is a fantastic option. It's no more than 15 to 20 hours a week here on campus in one of the different departments. Student life normally has a couple work studies. We have one for financial aid, the library, different things. There's IT work study positions. You can get into something that's similar to the role that you want to be in, and then you're building real job experience to put on your resume that you can use. Plus, you're also getting paid. So then you don't have to travel between classes to go to your job. It's all in one place. So it's beneficial in a couple of different ways. All right. So what happens when you submit the FAFSA? So this is a high-level overview of the process. The first thing you have to do is create a user ID and password. It's called an FSA ID. The cool thing is that you create it one time and it's good for your lifetime. So when you're going to work on your associates, your bachelor's, your master's, any of that, it's the same user ID and password. Anything related to loans is still tied there. If you have children and you go to help them with their financial aid, it's the same user ID and password. So it's one thing that you can use for your entire time here. The next is doing the FAFSA. It takes about 30 minutes. And then once you submit it, we get it within a week. So we load files a couple of times every week. So once we get it loaded into our system, we reach out to you to let you know that we have it and if we need anything else. This QR code, if you want to access it later, just takes you right to the student aid website so that you can jump into the application. Okay, so I have a question for you guys. This one is something that a lot of people get confused about. Are you required to be full-time taking 12 credits to get financial aid? Wait for everybody to vote. It's thinking slowly. Oh, it won't let you vote. Okay. All right. Well, the answer is no. You are not required to be a full-time student to receive financial aid. To exhaust all the financial aid that you qualify for, yes, you should be full-time. But to keep financial aid, you do not have to. We have financial aid that is based on enrollment. So for most of them, as long as you're taking at least 6 credits, you could be eligible for financial aid. That's the requirement for loans, for most of our state aid. We even have a couple of grants that are for taking 1 to 11 credits. So it is more important for our purposes that you pass what you take than to overload yourself just to be full-time so that you can qualify for aid, okay? The big thing to remember is if you don't pass classes, you could end up repaying money back. So make sure that you find a schedule that works for your life so that you can find balance. All right. And then this one I actually answered already, but are you required to repay financial aid if you fail or withdraw from classes? Okay. So you might. There's a lot of gray area with financial aid. It really depends on how you do for the entire semester. So you could end up repaying financial aid back if you fail or withdraw from classes. So again, when you meet with your advisors, if you haven't already, talk to them about finding your balance for school. It is so important that you pass whatever you take with a C or higher. So if you're doing work, a lot of family stuff, take less classes so that you can be successful in them. Because the long-term impact is your college transcript follows you everywhere. So if you fail any classes, you have to explain that to the college that you're going to next. You may even have to explain it in a job situation when you provide them with your transcript. So be confident with whatever classes you take, and it's okay to take less than full time, okay? And if you're not sure, reach out to us. We can review what your aid eligibility will look like if you do a change of classes, okay? All right. Okay, so if just thinking about the FAFSA makes you look like this lady, just know that we can help you with the application. We have a team here at the Middletown location and at Fauquier that can help you with the FAFSA. This website and QR code just takes you to our help page. You can book appointments with us virtually. So if you're not on campus, you can do it over Zoom. You can also come to campus and get help with the FAFSA. You can also just come in and ask questions. Our hours and our locations are on this website, so just feel free to reach out. The worst thing to do is have something happen and then reach out to us. Reach out to us as soon as you feel like something's going on so that we can try and help you and connect you with resources. And not to put her on the spot, but Kathy, please stand for a moment because I am putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
This is Kathy. She is our financial aid liaison. She actually moves between the locations, and she is happy to help you with connecting with other resources beyond financial aid. So if you need help with the food pantry, gas, transportation, any of that stuff, Kathy can help you get that connection to the different resources that are available so you're not in it by yourself. She can also connect you with tutoring, all of that stuff. So just know you're not alone in your journey for school. And even though we are financial aid, we can help you with the other stuff or at least get you to the right person. All right. Okay, so you guys are brand new, but how comfortable are you navigating your student account? Like your My Laurel Ridge account, like where you register for classes, where you see your financial aid, how comfortable are you moving through there? It's going slow again. It's okay. Okay, cool. There we go. Okay, so I am a visual learner. I struggle to understand stuff unless I can see it. So what I did was I pulled some screenshots for you guys of what your student accounts look like. So when you log into your My Laurel Ridge, there's all of those cool tiles. The one that we are using for things related to financial aid is going to be SIS. So if you click that, it takes you to this page. So clearly I'm old because that's my financial aid information from when I was here as a student, but this is where yours would be. When we get it every single year, it will show you the age year. So you guys are looking for 25, 26. it will tell you determined, or if it's pending, it means you need to go up to your action items. There may be something that we need from you or something in your messages. So you want to take time at least once a week to check your messages. Maybe when you're going in and doing stuff for your other classes, just pop in, make sure you're caught up on everything. My favorite place in here is the account details, and I'm gonna show you why. So again, even though I work in financial aid, math isn't my friend. This does the mathing for you. It will show you the cost of your tuition for the semester and your financial aid for the semester, and if there's a balance due. You have to hit the little button that says click here for it to update if you're not taking 12 credits, but it does all of the math for you. So you don't have to try and figure it out on your own. But it's your best friend to be checking and updating and making sure that everything looks right. If you don't understand what you see in here, reach out to us and we can go over it with you. In this same place, you can also make a payment if you need to pay anything out of pocket or set up a payment plan, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. Okay, we also offer military benefits. So while it doesn't fall under the financial aid office, we closely work with our veteran certifying officials. So if you are using military benefits or your parent is transferring benefits to you, feel free to check out this website. It will connect you with our certifying officials so that you can get help there with those. Okay. And then third-party payments. This is another one to save the QR code for later. If you guys are using a 529 plan to help pay for school, the information to get that money sent to the college is at this QR code. It's a good one to save. It also goes through the steps on what you're supposed to be doing every semester. If you did get any local private scholarships, again, it has the information for our business office so they can send those funds over to us and then it can be posted to your account. And then if you are working and your job is paying for your classes, that is listed on here as well. It goes through our business office, but the steps and everything are listed there. Okay, and then the payment plan. So let's say you have financial aid, it covers some or part of your tuition, but you still have a balance that's due. You do not have to make that whole payment in one lump sum. The college offers a payment plan. And the earlier you set it up, the more options you have. I think right now, because it's still early, it's like 5 or 6 payments broken up over the semester. So it's a lot more manageable. The great thing with the payment plan is there's no interest that is accrued to it. Like if you were to put it on a credit card, interest would accrue. The payment plan doesn't have that. There's just a small enrollment fee. And by doing that, it protects your class schedule. So the tuition deadlines that we have, we back out people from classes that didn't pay. This protects your class schedule as soon as it's set up. So it's a great option if you do owe a small balance and you can't do it all at one time. Okay. And then this QR code link is also to the other different kinds of ways to make payments on your student account. The business office here allows you to make payments here at the window. The Fauquier campus does not have a business office, but we have secure portals where we can help you make credit card payments through your account. You can also make a credit card payment anywhere that you have internet through your account, where I showed you in your SIS. But all of that will make sure that your class schedule is locked in for the semester. Okay, I threw a whole lot of information at you. Do you guys have any questions?
Is the app, I'm just wondering if I heard this correctly, the app to get into the financial thing, it's called SIS?
It's a tile, so it's through your My Laurel Ridge,
Yeah.
but yes, it is SIS.
I'm really curious with the work study program. How can I apply for that?
So have you done your FAFSA yet?
Yes, I've gotten that. filled out.
Okay, when we get done here, we'll walk over to the financial aid office and we can look at your eligibility, and then there's a link for you to apply if you're eligible.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? No? Okay. That is all that I have.